Okay, so I thought we'd do a video on the release. The release is a really important part of the golf swing, and I genuinely mean that there is only a tiny percentage of golfers that know how to release the golf club correctly. And on the channel, we always talk about this I always talk about it in different ways to kind of get you guys thinking differently about it. But I think, again, I want to revisit it because there's lots of questions from you guys and others that are asking about the release, and I thought it would be worthwhile talking about it. So what happens with most amateur golfers is generally because of something that materialises in the backswing or something that materialises in the start of the downswing, your release becomes affected. And I talk about that a lot of this on the channel. You know, if you're somebody who moves too much over your trail side, or if you're somebody who sort of starts your downswing where you fire the trail hit forward, what you'll always find is because of the sequence of those events, your trail arm will straighten too early. And because you'll do something like this, your hands will often end up working too wide away from the body in this sort of way. And then I'm dramatising. And then by the time you hit it, the club head's overtaking the hands. Or you'll do something, you know, something to that sort of effect. So what's sort of happening theoretically is that you have sort of learned to square the club face, meaning getting the club face square to the ball, by sort of scooping. Okay, now the best way to visualize this, and you can practice this, and again, this is something that I do with students just to kind of, you know, keep them thinking about it, is I'm going to draw a line here on the screen to represent my wall. Okay, so you imagine that's a solid wall there. Now what we want to do, we want to demonstrate backswing position, and then as we come in towards the downswing, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find a way, by the time the club shaft is parallel to the ground, where the hands would be located over the ball, like this. Okay. Now, most amateurs are somewhere here, and the reason why they're here is, like I said earlier, it's because they get wrong in the backswing or you start the downswing in the wrong way. So this is the first thing you're going to do. Now, as I continue to move through from this position, my hands continue to move ahead of the ball, and as my hands continue to move ahead of the ball, the club will naturally start to uncock like so, which means this angle goes. But when we look at tour pros, the thing that's massively surprising is how, coming in towards the very late downswing, the club face is still very open relative towards the target. And that's because as we come in towards this sort of concluding part, this is when I would now concentrate on rolling my lead arm to square the face. So we go back to the drill reference the wall. The thing that you're trying to do if you were to practice against the wall at home is two things. The first one is you're trying to practice getting the club shaft parallel to, when it's parallel to the ground, the hands are over the ball. And then the second thing you want to do from this position is, by the time you're go into this post impact, so you swing against the wall, the back of your lead wrist should be square to the wall, and the club face should also be square towards the wall. And I think that's a really simple way to practice the release. So if you're somebody who's trying to get your hands further forward in the impact area, what I'm trying to say is you need to think more about narrowing your hands from the point of the top of the backswing to when the club is parallel. Because if your hands work too wide at this stage in the golf swing, because you're like I said, your upper arms move to the side of your body and you do this, then from this position, you're never going to end up doing anything other than looking a little bit scoopy. So if you can get your hands moving more over the ball, then what I'm saying is you're going to have a much greater chance of being able to demonstrate more shaft lean at impact. But you are going to have to be brave, because like with all the students that I work with, I don't get them doing this sort of thing, hitting balls first. I get them doing things like just controlling the low point, which means striking the ground each and every time, getting the hands forward, and then doing exercises similar to what I've mentioned to you guys against the wall drill as well. So to get the release correctly, you first of all need to understand where your hands work from the top of the backswing to when the club shaft is parallel, and your hands, like skimming a stone, have to work in this direction, not this direction. And then from there, you just need to practice getting the feeling from this position, getting the club on the wall. And one of the best drills that you can do, it's very difficult, is just hit some balls from this position. So my hands are over the ball, like so, my club shaft is parallel, and then I might just have a little bit of a recoil, but then from there, see the way I'm just hitting into that wall. And I just think, as difficult as that drill you'll find it, I just think it's about the most powerful drill that I can personally offer you to get into, realistically, this type of position here. Hopefully that helps, and let me know how you're getting on.